Welcome and good afternoon to everyone. Thanks so much for being here with us. I just want to say again, thanks to David and Anka for putting together this event. I appreciate being able to speak to you right now. So you might be wondering, who am I? All right. My name is Tanya-Gaye Olopade, and I wouldn't normally be the one talking about trading at all. I'm more of a behind the scenes type of person. Um, but as I mentioned, when I heard about this event, I was compelled to share some of my story, things that I've learned over time. And I can be honest when I tell you, look, for a long time, I was afraid of the stock market, right? There was a lot of things I heard about the market being risky, this, that, and the other, and I didn't know a whole lot about it. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's good for other people. More power to you. It's probably not something I could do. I felt a little overwhelmed, right? And I had a friend of mine named Alice, and she trades, and she would encourage me all the time. She would say, you know what? You should be trading. And I would come up, with different excuses. I'm too busy, which I was. Life gets us and keeps us busy. There's always something to do, right? But I just kind of use that as my get out of jail card. I don't really have to do it. I'm just busy. I'm doing something else, right? But she would just keep at it. She would keep encouraging me, like, you can do it. So I just want to give Alice credit to her for believing in me, even when I wasn't really believing in myself, right? And then my husband, Wally, which is who you may be more familiar with here at Right Side Trading, um, we were talking, and we talk off and on about what would happen if anything happens to him or myself. Like, how would our kids know about the stock market? And we talked through just wanting to have some training material or some type of streamlined process, so simple for our kids. And over time, developing this material, we had in mind, like, look, we want it to be so simple that even our 6-year-old daughter can get it, right? So the concepts are simple, but what I'm going to be sharing with you today is how I overcame some of my fears and concerns as an adult, right? So I am not coming to you as an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I've never worked on Wall Street, I'm not a former analyst, not a former hedge fund, never been a coach, not a former trader, not an options expert, not a commodities broker, right? None of those things. I commend those who have that experience. I'm just saying I don't have that, right? But I am a woman, I'm a wife, I'm a mother who have found simple way of making money in this complex industry called the stock market, right? Without getting overwhelmed or confused. So that's really what I want to share with you, because I had some hurdles I had to jump through myself, just getting over my own fears, right? And like I said, the concepts that I'm going to be sharing is simple enough to where our kids understand it, and we would make things into a game. I'll share a little bit more about how we did that, but I'm not claiming to even be the best presenter. I'm sure there'll be tons of women on here, far better presenters than myself. But you know what? I really wanted to share what I've learned over time and what really helped me build my confidence in the stock market. Okay, so those are the things I'm going to be sharing today. So I'm going to go ahead and put out there the risk disclosure and disclaimer. There is a lot of risk involved in trading, and I'm not a licensed professional. Just make sure I reiterate that. So if you're going to trade, make sure you get the advice from a licensed professional. This is the disclaimer here, and we'll just keep going. So, like I said, I'm going to be sharing things that I learned as a novice that helped me to be more confident. I'm not an expert, but I'm no longer overwhelmed, right? I was able to see my fears, find a solution, and gain some confidence when it comes to trading in the stock market. Now I can consistently pick stocks that makes me money. Okay. So I'm going to start with one of my first concerns and my fears, right? Losing my investment. Um, I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to. No one likes losing money. It doesn't matter how big, how small, no one likes to lose money. And this example here is Carnival Cruise Line. And if you take a look at what happened to Carnival Cruise Line last year, this is right as the pandemic started in March of last year. The stock literally took a plunge. Keep in mind, everything came to a halt, right? It's not just one industry that was affected or one anything. The entire nation pretty much came to a halt. And for the cruise line industry, they took a hard hit along with a lot of other people. But you see how it looks like it almost just fell off a cliff, this stock, right? It took a massive plunge. And I was like, okay, how can I avoid this? I don't want to be stuck in a stock that this happens to me and I end up losing my entire investment, right? Here's another company, Macy's. I like Macy's. I shop there all the time. When I look at their stock, over the time, Macy's dropped 93%. It didn't all happen last year. I'm just saying over a period of time, their stock dropped 93%. And I did not want this to happen to me at all, right? And like I said, no one wants to lose money, especially a very significant amount of money. Doesn't matter how small or large, no one likes to lose money. And I don't like to lose money. Then I had another fear. Okay, well, what about a market bubble? What about a potential a crash? What do I do if there's a crash? Should I be concerned that there is a crash coming up? What if it happens? What do I do? It almost started me to like be more panicky. I'm like, how do I know if there's going to be a crash coming up? Should I just stay away from the whole thing because I'm scared? And the answer is no. But how do I keep my investments safe? That, in essence, is what I was trying to figure out. And what really helped me is a simple concept, as I mentioned, of sticking with healthy stocks. Okay. And when I say healthy stocks, I'm talking about stocks that trend higher. Okay. That's the idea. You want a stock that is progressively going higher. Okay. I'll share with you a little story. We make this like a game with our kids. So as kids do, they like to buy things, whether it's food, candy, clothes, whatever the case may be. As adults, I think we do too. But let's say, for this example, our kids, they'll say, oh, can we go here and here and buy so and so? And I'm like, well, or my husband and I will say to them, okay, well, let's check their stock and see if the company is making money. So we'd pull it up, and literally our 6-year-old daughter would sit on her lap, look at the screen, and she understands the concept of the stock going higher. From left to right, is it going higher? So she can tell us whether a stock is healthy or not. And so the way the game works is if they want to go to a store, if the company is making money, we'll pull it up on the, the charts. If it's making money, we can go and we can buy something. If it's not making money, means it's going down, then sorry, we'll have to wait till they make money. So it's just our little way of making it fun, and they get a kick out of it. But that is the simple concept in its essence. So if you don't remember anything else from this presentation that I said, remember this: you want to stick with healthy stocks, and healthy just means they're trending higher. The other way that I learned to keep my investment safe is to get insurance. So that may or may not be something that you've heard of before, but for me, knowing that I could get insurance really changed the game, because I was like, wait a minute, you can actually get insurance on stocks? Like, it really shocked me. I was just like, huh, who knew that? And when I learned that, I was like, you know what? It really lifted a big burden off of me. It helped me feel very relieved. It took that pressure off of me worrying about whether or not I'm going to lose all my investments, right? but it makes sense when you think about it. We get insurance on our house, we get insurance on our car, jewelry, we get insurance on all kinds of stuff. Why not our stocks? You see what I'm saying? So when I really grasped that, it helped, like I said, alleviate some of the pressure and the stress of trading in the market, because if I stuck to healthy stocks, that's the first thing. I also can get insurance to help protect my investment. Make sense? So then the other concern I had is, well, how do I make money with stocks? Because that's really what, we make we put our investment in with the idea we want to return on our investment. But how do I do that? So I learned a very simple way to make money. And the idea is to buy stocks at discounted low prices before it goes up. Okay. So just to kind of draw it here, about here is when I'd want to buy. That's a low discounted price. Okay. Then about there is where I'd want to buy. That's low discounted prices. Then around here is where I'd want to buy low discounted prices. So I'm not saying you're going to get it at the very bottom, the very lowest point possible. I'm not saying it's going to be the exact lowest point possible. I'm just giving you an idea of this is where I am looking to buy if I'm going to buy, because it's a low discounted price with the hopes of it going up, or with the intention or really expecting it to go up because it's a healthy stock. And what does healthy stock means again? It's going higher. Okay. So let me get that off of there. I hope that's making sense. So with that concept, I was able to plan out how much money I could potentially generate in 3 months in advance. Okay. Because if I get in around here and it's healthy, steadily going up, and I'll show you how do I gauge when to get out, but I expect to make a profit. Okay. If I'm getting in around here, okay, and it's steadily going up, I expect to make a profit. Okay. So here are the things that I had overcome, just to kind of recap a little bit. Part of my fear was losing my investment, right? And it's a genuine fear. I mean, that's how I felt. I'm not saying everybody feels that way. I'm just saying how I felt. And for me, what helped me overcome that fear was learning how to stick with healthy stocks. Okay. Then I was worried about, well, how do I actually make money? Okay. And the idea was to buy at discounted low prices. I didn't necessarily say cheap, right? But the fact that they are low discounted prices. Okay. My other concern was, can I really make money? People will ask, people will say, okay, yeah, you can make money in the stock market, but can you really make money? And what I'm sharing is, for me, with these simple concepts, I was able to plan up to 3 months in advance the money I could potentially make with my trades, right? So before I even get in the trade, I know potentially how much profit I can make. And then the other thing with the market crash, or worrying about a bubble, or just, you see a lot of things on the news that make me afraid. And I'm not going to say about anybody else. I'm just saying there are things on the news that make me afraid about whether or not there's a market crash or we're in a market bubble. And to help me get over that fear, once I learned about getting insurance, it helped me realize that I can protect my investments with that concept, right? So let me take these off and get to the next slide. All right, so you may be wondering, okay, well, that sounds all good and nice and stuff, but what did you do for these concepts to really, like, how do they come alive, or how do they make sense? Okay, so here at Right Side Trading, we have a platform that we use. And I'm going to walk you through these concepts that I just mentioned so that you could see it on the platform. Okay. So the question that I had about losing my investment, once I learned about sticking with healthy stocks, here's what I do and here's how I see it on our platform. Okay. You see these three parallel lines here? That's what we call the HARP line. Okay. When these three parallel lines are trending higher, that lets me know I'm dealing with a healthy stock. Let me just draw it on here so you can see. You see the direction it's going in? It's progressively going higher, right? Going higher. That's how I know I'm dealing with a healthy stock. So if I was ever worried or ever, I'm not sure, as long as I can see these lines are going up higher, then I know I'm dealing with a healthy stock. Same as my 6-year-old. She can see these lines. She sees them going up higher. She can tell if a stock is healthy or not. Okay. You may have some questions along the way. That's not a problem. I may not answer them right at the moment you send them. So if we have time at the end, I'll take a look and try to go through as many questions as I can, just so you know. All right. So the other question or concern that I mentioned about making money, this whole concept of buying at a discounted low price. Okay. So when a stock to me is discounted or is a low price, that means the very last candle that I'm looking at, it's green and it's in the lower half of these three parallel lines. Okay. So this line right here, this line, it's in this lower region. Okay. That's how I know I'm getting it at a discounted low price. I'm not saying I can't buy it if it's higher than that. I'm just saying to me, this is low discounted price. And then when you're in the platform, when you hover over this candle, it will say what our right model shows here, buy cover. So to me, that says, okay, if I wanted to get into this stock, I would be buying it at a low discounted price. And also, this is an opportunity to buy. Okay. I hope that makes sense. It really helped me to not have to guess. Okay. Like I said, these concepts are simple enough, but the software really makes it so that, okay, here you go. It's in plain view. If I can grasp these concepts, trust me, anyone can. It just takes a little getting used to, but once you learn the concepts, it's not hard. Okay. That's how I know that I'm buying it at a discounted low price. Okay. It helped me go from fearful to confident with these things. And I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. Here is the other question. Okay. Can I really make money? Okay. So I'm going to walk you through this. I know there's a lot going on this chart, but I'm concerned with the very last candle on the right-hand side. I didn't get a chance to explain this before, but that's a concept that part of the reason why our company is named Right Side Trading. It is great to learn a lot from what happened in the past. Our past is there to teach us. I agree with that. But right now, I can only make money with what's going to happen going forward. I have to decide with the information that I have today, what should I do? Okay. So right now, this last candle here, it's green. And the price around here is $32.50. Okay. Then what I'm looking for it to do is progressively go higher to about this line right here. And that's around $34.90. That's the top part of the three parallel lines. And I know I could potentially gain about 7%. Okay. So when I say I can map out or budget or plan how much profit I can make up to 3 months in advance, that's how I'm doing it. I am deciding, okay, it's in the bottom half of these three lines. It's green. And if I got in here, potentially I'm staying in until about this top line. And if I did just that, there's a potential gain of 7%. And also my right model says, here is an opportunity to buy. Okay. Those are the things I'm looking for. Okay. So then the other idea of worrying about, is there, could there be a market crash? Could there be a market bubble? And getting insurance, here's how I solve that problem. Okay. So like I said, there's a lot going on the chart, but the very last candle, if I hovered over this in our platform, let me just circle it here so you know where I'm talking. That very last candle, if I hovered over it, our right model would say place a stop. So when I see a place stop, I know it's time to get either paid insurance or free insurance. One of the questions I think popped up just because it relates to this, it says, what type of insurance did I buy? It's a stop loss. That's the free insurance. I can put a stop loss in place, right? Okay. So here is another overview of when should I be buying or selling based on our platform. And I explained the story a little bit early about, am I on the right side? But that's really just asking, am I going in the right direction, right? When should I actually be buying, and when should I be looking for opportunities to sell? So if you notice this area right here, it's shaded in green. And anytime I see this green shaded area, the background right here, I know there's an opportunity to buy when price is in this green section. Okay. So if I'm ever worried or ever concerned, should I be buying or should I be selling? My first indication is, okay, is the background shaded green or not? If it's shaded green, it's in the green section, then I know there's an opportunity to buy. However, if the price is in this red section, that's when I should be selling, okay? When I hover over this in our platform, this last candle, if I circle that right here, what our right model would be saying is this is an opportunity to sell or short, okay? So if there's ever any confusion, at least for me, when should I be buying, when should I be selling? That's how I know. This background shaded area, green, there are opportunities to buy. If the candle is in the red section, there's an opportunity or potential to sell or short. Okay. So here is an example. We can kind of walk through some of the things I'm telling you of when to buy. Okay. So this last candle right here, this last green candle, well, if we go through what we've learned so far, the three lines are going higher. So I know I'm dealing with a healthy stock, right? It's in this shaded green area, this last green candle, so I know there's an opportunity to buy. I also see that it is in between the bottom two lines. It's in this lower portion of my harp line. Okay. So if I got in around here, that potentially would be a buy price of $12.38. And remember what I said, I'm looking for it to go about here, right? That's roughly about $12.89 to $13. So there's a potential profit going from here to here, about 4 to 5%. Okay. So that's how I'm able to map out how much profit I could potentially make even before I place the trade, right? Because if I know before I place a trade, there's a potential to make a profit, great, right? And I don't have to guess, I don't have to wish, I don't have to hope, I don't have to cross my fingers. I can literally see this candle is here. I'm expecting it to go here because it's a healthy stock. It should be going up. And potentially I could make a profit about 4 to 5%. Okay. Take out those lines. All right, so here's another example. BW, Babcock. Okay. So it's going higher, as I mentioned, right? Healthy stock. We're in the green shaded area. That's another plus. This last candle here, it is in the lower part of these three lines. It's in the bottom half. That price is roughly about $7.08, and I'm expecting it to go somewhere around here, which for me, I'd be looking to sell at around $8.43 to $8.50. That's a potential profit of 19 to 20%. Now, I don't know about you, but I am okay with 19 to 20% return on my investment. I don't know about you, but I am. So I don't think that's too shabby for anyone. 20% return on your investment, I think is pretty good. It also says there's an opportunity to buy over here on our right model. So to me, I'm good with Babcock. I can confidently get in and say around here, I'm looking at making about 19% if I stay in to about this range, right? And I'm okay with that. Here's another example, CTHR. Okay, just to kind of reiterate, it's going higher. Our harp line is going higher. That's good. The last candle, it's green and it's in a green shaded area. I went too far. Green shaded area. It's in between the bottom half of my harp line. And the right model over here shows buy cover. If I get in around here, that's about $2.38. See, the prices that we've looked at kind of range. I'm not always saying the price has to be cheap or expensive. It's here is where it falls within the range. And if I sell about here, which is $2.85 to $3, I could potentially make a profit of 19.75%, 19.75 to 26%, right? Who would be okay with 26%? I mean, really, if you get that in a year, that's great. I'm not saying it's going to take a whole year. I'm saying I'm mapping out up to 3 months in advance. I'm not even saying this is going to take 3 months. I'm just saying I'm mapping out for myself trades that I get into up to 3 months in advance. If it took that long, I'd be okay with 26%. I really would, right? So let's see another example. SYNH, okay? The line is still trending higher. Maybe not as much as the other lines, but it is still trending higher. It's in the green shaded section right here. The last candle is actually green. And as I mentioned, there's a lot going on in the chart. I'm more concerned with what the last candle I see is doing, because that's what I have to use. That's the information that I have to decide, should I be buying or not? Okay. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm not predicting the future by any means. I'm just saying, this is what I'm looking at. And if it's in between the lower half of the harp line and our right model says, here's an opportunity to buy, the price around here is about $77.35. Okay. And if I stay in about here, then I'm looking at selling around $79 to $82. That's a potential of 3.5 to 6%. Sorry, 3.30 to 6%. Okay. That's how I'm able to map things out. That's what helps me gain confidence that I can stay in a trade long enough without panicking, right? Once I get in, I don't have buyer's remorse. I have a specific target I'm looking at, a specific range that I'm looking for the stock to go. And that's the potential profit that I can make. Okay. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying that's the potential. So then the question is, well, how do I know when it's too late? So GameStop. Hopefully you've heard about GameStop. You might be tired of hearing about GameStop. This became a huge company in the news in January. I tell you, I heard GameStop so much, I was just like, wow. It was all over the place. I saw articles about how a mom had bought some shares in GameStop for her son, maybe a year or so ago, right? Not a lot of money, but they end up, because of what happened to GameStop, I think her son made like $3,000, and he was like 10. You know, he was just excited about GameStop, and she knew he was into video games and stuff like that, and she bought it for him as a birthday gift, and he ended up making like $3,000. And I was like, wow, you know, this is an article that I read. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Then my son also loves video games. He's into his Nintendo Switch. He got that for his birthday last year, so he's all excited. And we would go into GameStop to, you know, see what new games came out. We ended up talking to one of the cashiers that worked there, and he over time had been buying shares in GameStop. And when this whole phenomenon happened, he was ecstatic. He was like, I made a ton of money. I'm so grateful. He's like, I had to pay taxes on it, but I'm okay. But he made a ton of money too. So I was like, man, this GameStop was all over the place. And then, so people would be asking, like, what do you think about GameStop? Is it too late to get in? You think it's going to keep going higher? So at the time, when I looked at it, it was already here. Okay. So let's look at it based on what we've learned so far. All right. So although the lines are trending higher, you know, I noticed that it is in a green shaded area. The problem is it's all the way up here, right? And so remember how I said, okay, I want to make sure I'm confident when I get into my trades. I want to make sure that I'm making a return on my investment. And for me, it's already way past the bottom half of my harp line. So for me, it's too late. You know, like I applaud everyone that was able to get it, you know, already be in it and made a ton of money. I'm like, hooray, I am excited for you. I really am. You know, I don't want to take anything away from anybody that made money in GameStop. But for me, the price is way above this harp line. It's too late for me to get in. If I try to jump in, I'd be hoping and wishing and praying that it kept going. But at the time when I saw it, I'm like, for me, it's too late. Okay. For me, it would be too risky for me. Okay. I needed for it to be at the bottom here. So here, about here could have been the first opportunity, maybe if I saw it back then, to jump in. But at this point, it is too far gone for me to get in. And by the time this candle appears, our harp, our right model says long stop or exit short. So for me, this is too late. Like I said, I'm excited for anybody that hit a home run with GameStop. Just for me, by the time I saw it, it was too late. Okay. So then here's a different example. What if, is it too early to buy? Here's an example with American Airlines. Okay. So with American Airlines, by the time I saw it, so remember I said the different shaded areas, like if you see the red background, which means there's an opportunity to sell, versus the green is an opportunity to buy. So let's say I saw, so first thing is the red shaded area tells me, okay, it's too early to buy. Okay. Then if you look down here, let me circle it. It might be easier to see where I'm talking about. Down here, if I saw it anywhere around here, for me, it's too early. You know why? Because it hasn't even crossed the very first harp line. It's not in between the bot. It's not in the lower half of my harp line. It's not there yet. It's too early. Okay. So, and then the right model, it doesn't suggest a buy. So I wouldn't be looking to buy because it's too early. Okay. So, like I said, these are some of the concerns that I have. When is too late? When is too early? Okay. Let's take a look at Bank of America. So you see price here. Okay, so first of all, it's in the red shaded area. So anytime I see this red shaded area, I'm not looking to buy. I don't see the opportunity to buy there. Okay. And then the next thing is when you look at this area, it's too low down here. It hasn't crossed that first harp line. It's not in the lower half of my harp line. So anywhere around here would have been too early to buy. And it doesn't suggest a buy. Okay. So, like I said, these are the things that helped build my confidence. When to get in, when to get out. Those are some of the questions that people have when you're starting off, or even if you're a seasoned trader. If you don't really have a system that's working, you could be trading for so long and kind of at your wits' end, or you could just be starting off and saying, you know what, this thing is too complicated for me. I'll just leave it to the experts. I'll leave it to the gurus. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to leave it to the experts and the gurus. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be a guru. I'm just saying, you know what? Here are some simple concepts that we've been able to put into our platform so you can see with your own eyes. And this is what has helped build my confidence in the market. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Because there might be some people that, you know what, you have something working for you. I'm good. I'm glad. I'm really excited for anyone that is doing well in the market, even though we've been in a pandemic. It's like, it's been a little crazy sometimes. The market's been going up, going down. That's just what it does. But it doesn't have to overwhelm. It doesn't have to confuse. It doesn't have to be out of your reach. It's attainable, you know. Being successful at trading in the stock market is attainable. And here's from me, a person that is like just a regular person, you know. And what I'm telling you is that the market doesn't have to be scary. Okay. So the concept of how long should I stay into a trade, I went over this a little bit, but just to kind of reiterate, here's Riot. You hear about Bitcoin type of stuff. Riot was also in the news all over the place. And here's how I know how long I should stay into a trade. Okay. So I mentioned potentially I would be getting in when the platform says there's an opportunity to buy. And I'll be getting in around here. And my goal is to stay in for as long as possible. But once it reaches about this range here is when I'm looking for my opportunity to exit. Okay. And when I'm in this platform, and it's a platform that we created, it's a web-based platform. It's not affiliated with any other company. It's just our right side platform. That's what we call it. And it's been programmed to, you know, tell us when we need to put a stop in place or we need to exit. So I'm potentially going from this lower half of our harp line all the way to the top. And here is where I would be looking to sell. It doesn't have to be exactly there. If it goes past it, okay, but I'll just hover over the candlesticks. And this very last candlestick, I'll circle where I'm looking at. Our right model would say long stop or exit short. Okay. So that's how I know how long to stay in, because I'm basing it on these three lines that are going higher. And I'm saying if I get in around here, I'm looking to stay in till about this top line right here. Okay. And if it says long stop, I'm going to be placing a stop loss. Okay. Or I could just decide, you know what, I'm good with the profit that I made, time to get out and move on to another stock. All right. All right. So the other idea is, when should I sell or exit? Went over this just a little bit, but just to kind of make it a little bit more clear. I know I should sell when the right model suggests sell. Like I said, I'm hovering over this candlestick, if there's time, I'll show you an example. When you hover over the candlestick, this is going to tell you, or tell me, sell short. Here's an opportunity to sell. Here's an opportunity to buy. In this case, I'm looking up here at what that last candlestick is going to say. It's in the shaded red area that I know there's an opportunity to sell or short. And when I hover over that candlestick, it's going to say sell to short. And I know I need to get ready to sell if the price is in the red section. Okay, the red section right here. Um, Hi, Stephanie. No worries. There is a replay coming up. So if whatever you've missed so far, we'll make sure you get a copy of it. Um, okay. So this example with QQQ, I know I should exit when the right model suggests exit. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this last candle. And like I said, I can't change what's going to happen or what already happened in the past. I can learn from it. But the candle that I'm looking at, I have to make a decision what I'm going to do. And when I hover over that candle, over here where the right model is, it says place a stop. I know that I should start exiting if it suggests place a stop or exit. Okay. So it's been made very clear, very plain. Like I don't have to guess. There is a lot of technical things that have gone into this program. We had a team of people working on it, but we've made it so simple where you can just see, oh, what should I do? Hover over the candle, it tells you. Okay. So just to kind of recap a little bit of what we've been talking about. So for anyone that's missed the beginning part, here's what we touched on. I'm sharing as just a regular woman, regular mom, regular wife, how I went from being fearful of the stock market to being more confident. I'm not claiming to be an expert or a guru. I've never traded on the stock market floor, but I had some concerns, and here's how I dealt with them. One of my concerns was losing my investment, being afraid of losing it all, you know? And if I stick with healthy stocks, that made me not panic. Okay. I can see on the platform, I can see that a stock is trending higher, then I know it's healthy. Okay. Then I was afraid of a market crash or a market bubble. And then I learned I could just get insurance. There's free insurance and there's paid insurance. When I learned that I could just get insurance, I'm like, hey, sign me up. Want to make sure I stick with healthy stocks and get insurance when I need it. Okay. And then how do I make money? Right. Not a lot of people, at least for me, I'm just going to put my money into something that I won't make a return. If you're making an investment, the idea is to make a return. So I learned about just buying at discounted low prices. Low prices. Okay. Not necessarily cheap, but they are lower. And if I'm sticking with a healthy stock, they're going to progressively be going higher. I want to get in low prices. I'm not saying I'm going to get in at the very bottom. I'm not saying that at all. But there's a range where it's like, okay, if I can get in around here, and I'm dealing with a healthy stock and it's going up, I'm good. Okay. Then can I really make money? Right? Can I really make money in the stock market? I've been able to get gain more confidence and get so tuned in on the concepts that I can plan out how much profit I can potentially make in 3 months. That's another game changer, because before I get into a stock, I can kind of map it out. Like, okay, if I get in here and I expect it to go there, how much profit is that? Oh, okay. So then I could say I am willing to get in at this price. Okay, if I think about when I should buy or what should I buy, okay, when I see the buy cover on the platform. Okay, how do I know if I'm too early or too late? Anything other than a buy cover means I'm either too early or too late, to be honest. It's plain as day on the platform. If there is not a buy cover, then I'm either too early or too late. How long should I hold it? Until it says sell, exit, or stops. Place your stops. Okay. What if I'm wrong? Like, what if I'm going in the wrong direction? Okay, well, then just get back on the right side. Get back in the right direction. Take a look at the platform, see what it says. Take a look at that last candle. What decision do I need to make based on that last candle? If I got in wrong, okay, well, get back on the right side. And then when should I sell? When I have a sell short show up on the platform. So, as I mentioned, the concepts themselves are not like rocket science. I'm not a rocket scientist. Absolutely not. And in the beginning, I mentioned these concepts were created with our young children in mind. But the reason this presentation is the way it is because I had to get over my fear as an adult, right? When we show our daughter a healthy stock is a stock that's trending higher, she just trusts that. She's 6 years old. She could see it go from left to right. It's going higher. That's a healthy stock. She's like, okay, cool. She doesn't know what's going on in the news. She doesn't know what's going on here or there. Like, she's not afraid of all the stuff that I was afraid of, but I wanted to walk you through my own thought process. That's why I went into all these details. And even though I'm saying it's simple, the software has made it even more simple because now it's in just a plain visual that you can see. But that's how I was able to go from fearful to confident, you know? And I don't feel like I have to be an expert just to be confident in the market. And I can consistently find stocks that make me money. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I really wanted to share. I mean, if I helped anyone today, I felt like job well done, you know, not meaning to pat myself on the back, but what I'm saying is I hope me sharing my fears and how I was able to overcome them has helped someone, anyone, right? Some of you are probably way more advanced and have a great system going for you. And I do applaud you, honestly. I want everybody to be successful in the stock market because there's more than enough for all of us. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be jealous of someone making more money than me. I'm excited. There is a piece of the pie for everyone when it comes to the stock market. You see what I'm saying? And I really just wanted to share, just as a regular person, that if I can do this, me, busy, just sometimes fearful, if I can get over these fears, so can you. Okay. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to try to speed up a little bit. But I wanted to take a look at um, GameStop real quick. I'm just going to slide this over here. This is our platform, as I mentioned. Okay. So when I hover over, let me circle the right model so you can see it actually changing. Okay. When I hover over each candle, it'll tell me where the opportunities are. Okay. So if I was in there way over here, that would be great. But let's say I just saw it at this candle right here, which is still in the lower portion, the lower half. It says buy cover. If you notice when I hover over it, just take a look on the left side where it says right model, it suggests buy cover. Okay. So we're in the shaded green area. Okay. This candle is green. So let's pretend that's when I saw it. The right model says buy cover. That's my opportunity to buy. Someone says, is there a scanner to show buy sells? Yes, there is. To answer that really quickly, there is a scanner to find the stocks. So then I go to the next candle. It still says it's an opportunity to buy. Now, I would probably buy on this candle, but I could if I wanted to, because it still says buy cover. I may decide to get in at that point. Anything much more past that, I probably wouldn't. So then the next candle still says buy cover. Okay. The next candle says buy cover. So I'm just kind of walking you through what it says. At this point, it says long stop or exit short. Okay. So if I was already in, I may want to put a stop loss in place. I will put a stop loss in place. That's the whole point, right? If I got in here, what says buy cover, by this point, I'm going to put in a stop. When you get to the next candle, it says wait or hold. So if I'm already in, wait. Okay. Don't do anything, just hold it. The next candle, wait or hold. This candle says long stop or exit short. Okay. Now, as you can see, I am in at this point the top half of my harp line. So if I didn't get in back here, I'm not going to get in right now. Okay. The next candle still says stop long stop. Up here, even though it says there's a potential to buy, I'm not going to do it because it's already past the top line, my harp line. Okay. Anything past here, it's too late. It's too late. Okay. Right here, it says wait or hold. Right here, it says long stop, exit short. So all of these up here, I applaud, like I said, anybody that got in and was in and got to capture profits off of this, great. I wouldn't have jumped in. So the panic that happens when you're wondering, okay, what should I do? What should I do? I've been able to have a system that helps me not panic. So let me hurry through. I got about 3 minutes, a little less than 3 minutes. Let me just get through the rest of this really quick. So if you wanted to know how to get started building your confidence in trading, here's an opportunity we have. And like I said, this may not be for everyone. There's a lot of great stuff out there, and whatever works for you and it's working, stick with it. But if you don't know where to start and you are interested, here's my offer. Okay. So our Right Side platform, as I mentioned, it's a web-based platform. We created it to stand alone by itself, and it normally is $2.99 a month. But for today's special, if you go to rightsidetrading.com/promo, I'll try to see if I can put that in the chat box. Oh, great. Thanks, David. Put that in the chat box for you. It's $97 if you take action now. Okay. And that particular promotion will last till Friday. Let me bring it over here so you can see it. As I said, I'm running out of time. I want to make sure I don't get in the way of the next presenter. But there's 2 opportunities. If you just want access to the software, no problem. It's $97 here. But there's also an opportunity if you wanted to try it out for 3 months. Both plans will get you video tutorials. So we'll make sure you know how to use it, how to take best advantage of it, how to use the scanner, things like that. But there's also an opportunity to get on our weekly webinars. You'll have 30 days access to our weekly webinars. It's every Monday night at 8 o'clock. It's with Wally, just so you know, full disclosure. And our Right Side report is a weekly report that he does about the market and analyzing stocks And that's a PDF that's mailed out every week, once a week. So this, what I'd love to offer, you just try it out, see how it works for you. We're here for you if you need if you need. We'll walk you through the process, make sure you know how to use the software. But I really appreciate the time that I've been given to share with you. Like I said, just a regular mom, regular wife. Learned some things about the market that has helped just it more, make me more confident. It's more attainable. I can trust that, okay, I can do this. And you can too. I mean, I don't want to sound cheesy, but you can. You see what I'm saying? Sharing you my journey, my story, and how I've been able to. That's my alarm going off. Make sure I don't go over. But this is what has really helped me. So I hope this has been helpful to you, even if a little bit. Then thank you for your time. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to David or Anka. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate being on your event, and pray that all your other presenters have great success and everyone has a great time learning. So I'll turn it back over to you.